Salam singles. I am back with another episode of our 90-Day Fiance Follow Fest. We are following the Muslim relationships on the show. And so I introduced you to our brother Bilal. Now I'm going to introduce you to our sister Shaeeda. And now Shaeeda. Now some of you may have been watching along, so you may already know the story. But if not, let's get into it. This is Bilal Part 2.
When we went through our divorce 7 years ago, it was a very rough time. No matter how much you love somebody and how much you want things to work, nothing can prevent a person from waking up one morning and saying, I'm not in love with you anymore. I felt like I was a failure. I failed my children. So when I met Shaeeda, it was a gift.
Okay, I wanted to stop there because I think it's very interesting. I mean, we have a lot that we can learn from watching their relationship. One of the things that is interesting to notice is that he seems to have met her at a low point in his life, right? Where he was feeling like a failure. And so he said she was a gift. So that's one of the things that I try to teach my sisters, especially when it comes to, I've been asking a lot of questions about what men want and things like that. And a lot of the feedback I've been getting is this idea that they want that comforter. They want that supporter. They want to feel like they're your kings. And so it looks like this sister did that, and we'll kind of go over some of the ways that she kind of wooed him, which I think we can learn a lot from as well, inshallah.
You light me up inside and make me come alive. You know you hit me live.
She's 37 years old. She's a yoga instructor.
I'm sitting here enjoying this beautiful weather.
And she's from Trinidad and Tobago.
Love you.
Shaeeda and I had some mutual friends on social media. Out of the blue one day, she got into the DMs and she expressed that she was interested.
You would always be incredible and beautiful in my eyes.
I thought she was very beautiful, but her name, I was like, it is way too close to my ex-wife's name. Shaeeda and Shaeeda. Their name is so similar that I actually avoided talking to Shaeeda because of her name initially. One of the things that I absolutely love about Shai is just her drive. She's an entrepreneur. She started her yoga business. She has a will to want more in life.
Now, I want us to pay particular attention to the way Shaeeda comes on the scene. Even in this little clip, she is just very vibrant. The colors she wears, the hijab styles, she just has a lot of energy around her. Not to mention shade, no shade. There's a lot of crotch shots going on with the yoga poses. I know, everybody's different, and I'm always kind of when I see sisters in more traditional hijab, I'm always in my mind just thinking, traditional stuff. But she's I'm a flip upside down and do splits and all kinds of stuff. So look, he's a man, and I know he is going to say later on, one of the most important things about her was her face. But you will notice he says beauty about 5 times in this clip with describing her. So that's a real thing. Not to mention the visuals of, when you're thinking about a long-term relationship with somebody, the visuals that all them flips and splits can give a man's mind, perhaps. But I digress.
Oh, wishing you were here with me.
And we were talking and things were vibing well. And then I was like, I have to see you. I have to see you in person. And that's when I made plans to visit her.
See, that's when you know that physical thing, whatever it is that you've done, all the work that you've put into it, that's when you know it's taking hold. When a guy is I gotta see you, I gotta be with you. And so for sisters who get ghosted, we've all been ghosted. Brothers get ghosted too. That's one of the things that I think is at the root of it. It's you gotta keep building that attractor factor till they get to the point where they can't even stand to ghost you. If a day or even some hours go by that they haven't spoke with you, well, men aren't that usually with the hours. Some are, but usually they're gonna check in at least once a day, which that's the goal. Get them there, and then after that it'll be breezy. They can't live without you, inshallah.
I couldn't resist. The one and only. Seeing her, it was really great. She's very shy when she doesn't know you, sometimes an uncomfortable shyness. Stop being shy. Stop being shy. But the beauty of her is as she starts to be around you much more, then she starts to open up. I spent 7 days in Trinidad, so we only spent actually 7 days together physically before we decided that, okay, this is official. I always kind of had like in the back of my mind an idea perhaps that, hey, if she's what I think she is, I'm going to bring a ring just in case. And just in case did come to pass.
In case y'all wondering what the just in case is that came fast. I do try to minimize my message, but look, the physical factor is very important. I surmise, like, do guys normally just go around carrying rings just in case? But to me, it's like, okay, he's not trying to be hopping back and forth to Trinidad, spending weeks at a time, and they can't be together. So he's like, look, I think what he's telling us is the conversations, all that was happening and things were building. And he was like, now, you know what? If we hit it off in person, we just gonna need to go on and, go all the way, make this thing official. But as he's gonna explain, Islamically, you can't really be doing all that. So he's like, let me bring this ring and make it official, because that is really interesting to just go somewhere and get married on vacation. But y'all know that's how we as Muslims roll, because we don't do all of that intimacy and stuff before marriage. So to really kind of go on and date someone and be able to really hang out with them alone and other stuff, then you got to go on and put a ring on it and just lock that whole thing down. So I thought that was really interesting, but she did her job. She got him there and ready and like proposing, having never really met her in person before this. No, not having never really met her. Having never met her in person before this. She got somebody she's never met in person to come with a ring ready to marry her and propose. So just pay attention, peep game, y'all. Peep the game.
She said yes, and we applied for the K-1 visa so that we can start our lives here in America as soon as possible.
I'll be coming to Kansas City, Missouri to spend the rest of my life with you.
A couple of months after I visited Trinidad and Tobago, COVID-19 took over the world. So I have not physically seen Shaeeda close to 2 years now.
So do you feel comfortable enough to where you would marry this woman tomorrow?
First of all, I love this scene with him and the ex-wife, because you could tell he kind of like, it's like, oh yeah, I forgot to kind of mention, like, I'm already married. I didn't tell you or the kids, but it's already officially done. Especially since there was no prenup done. So he says, just watch how many times he says it. So I think that part is hilarious.
Yeah, we actually, had, our nikah, spiritual union,
Okay.
There are a couple of things within our religion that we do not do. Like, we don't have sexual relationships before we get married. So Shaeeda and I thought that it would be best to have a nikah. It's like a marriage. It's a spiritual union. Now, we're not married under the laws of the United States, but under the eyes of God, we are married. So she can live at my home. We can be together. That is her. You here?
No.
Now I love this little reunion scene because, well, one, it's like a movie, right? Like, we've just all been there like, oh my God, it's been 2 years and they haven't seen each other, and now they're finally united. So it really felt like a movie. One of the things I thought was interesting, and I kind of noticed that, of course it comes up a lot, is, some of the cultural differences. So I'm like, yeah, most American Muslim women would not be doing the Bobby and Whitney, like, let me go run and like jump on you, like in public. But it was cute. I thought it was really cute. But there is a scene, like one of the cuts, where he kind of like, taps her leg to kind of like, okay, honey, we good on this public display of affection, which some Muslims feel totally uncomfortable with. So I thought it was really funny, like even kissing in public. Like, my profile picture for Muslima Matchmaker is like on my wedding day, like kissing my husband, and it was like our first kiss. And people were like, oh my gosh, like astaghfirullah, public displays of affection, haram, haram. So I know some Muslims get really uptight about that, but the whole running and jumping, I was just like, oh yeah, that is different. I don't know too many Muslims who like run and jumped up on their husband in public, but it was really cute. But it did remind me of seriously like the Bobby and Whitney or like something from a movie, and that comes up a lot too in their relationship. This whole idea of her living this fantasy, and I wanted this fantasy and fairy tale marriage. And we do that a lot when we're single. To me, honestly, that's one of the things that gets us through the long years. Is just kind of make believe in a sense, or not make believe. It's kind of like visualization. You know, we do vision boards and all this stuff of what our life and our love is going to be like. And so I just, you know, she's playing it out. She's following her feelings. So I thought that was cute. And then, you know, to see the relationship as it kind of develops and changes, because that initial spark, you haven't seen somebody for 2 years, it's not always going to be like that, but it's still okay. It can still be good. So let's just watch it and enjoy the love and live vicariously for the moment.
I am Shaeeda. I am 37 years of age, and I'm from Trinidad and Tobago.
How do you feel?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed?
Yeah.
Like, you're here in the United States.
I know.
It's been like forever.
I know.
Forever.
So excited to come here. It's been like a dream come true. It's finally here.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
Feeling good? Nervous?
Very much so.
Nervous?
You can pick it up.
Excited? Being shy? Being shy.
I know. I just want to get to know him all over again, to be quite honest, and just get more acquainted with one another.
That's so cute. I love both of their expressions. I love Bilal's smile. It's kind of like, yeah, let's get reacquainted. You know what I mean? I'm just playing. But I love her accent. Like, y'all know I love accents, right? Like, that's the thing. So I'm just gonna enjoy this, and we're gonna enjoy talking about it. And I want to hear, what were your feedbacks? What did you feel about this episode, or what are you feeling about the show so far? If you're watching, and if this is your first time seeing it, give us some predictions. What do you think is gonna happen? We'll see if you're right or not. But all right, stick with me, stick with the channel. Like, I look forward to talking with you guys about this stuff, inshallah. All right, assalamu alaikum. Talk to you later.